Your 20s is the most important period of your life. This is the time when we start our careers, meet our partners, and learn a lot about ourselves and the world. Since our 20s is also the first period of our adulthood, we are under a lot of pressure to lay the foundation of our future and to not fall behind on the important milestones. When we are so overwhelmed by the society's expectations and our fear of missing out, it's easy to forget about the most important things to learn in your 20s. And these are the most valuable life lessons to take away into your 30s. Today we are going to talk about them. Hi there, my name is Alena. Welcome to my channel. Here we talk about all things feminine, self-development for women, career, and of course, relationships and love. If you are ready to tap into your divine feminine and level up, stick around. And let's get started. I have picked 10 things that every woman must realize or must learn by the age 30. But before we begin, I want to make an important disclaimer. A lot of people have unrealistic expectations about the scale of things they must achieve by the age 30. Lots of people fall into this trap and start feeling depressed and anxious by the time they approach their 30s because they feel as if they are not doing enough or they did not achieve enough. There is a whole book called The Defining Decade which capitalizes on this insecurity. If you haven't read it already, don't. The expectation that your whole life must be all figured out by the age 30 is unrealistic and quite artificial. I'm not here to put extra pressure on your poor 20-something self. I'm not going to tell you that you must meet your true love by the age 30 or you must make that first million by the age 30 or achieve any other milestone tied to this human-constructed artificial timeline. We are going to talk about the self-discoveries, life lessons, important realizations you need to make your life worth living. Whether you are 20, 30, or any other age, the insights in this video might change your life. As usual, the most important, the most life-altering realization is coming in the end, so keep watching. The first lesson, do not settle for what's available. We as humans are cursed with the knowledge that our life is finite. Worse than that, your youth is finite, and we are well aware of that. This is especially hard on women. Our appearance is still something that defines our value in the world. Wait. Don't start screaming that this is wrong. Maybe it's not how it's supposed to be, but yet it's still true. The older we get, the less attractive we become. And the less attractive we are, the less chances we have to build a long-term relationship. Add to that the fact that our biological clock is ticking. Yeah, I hate this phrase too. But our fertility decreases after the age 30-35, scientific fact. And general for all genders. The older you become, the less opportunities you're gonna get. If you're 20, for example, and you never engaged into serious sport, you will never become a professional athlete. You're only 20, and some doors are already closed for you. Guess what? In 10 years, the amount of those doors will exponentially increase. Wait, I'm getting depressive now. The point is, knowing all that, no wonder that all 20-something-year-olds are walking, talking bunch of nerves. And guess what it makes you do? It makes you settle. Grab that first guy who ever wanted to be serious about you. Because what if no other guy will ever want that? The good news is, yes, some doors will close. But the feeling that there is finite amount of these doors is an illusion. The truth is, life offers unlimited amounts of options at any age. Settling for something that doesn't work for you means condemning yourself to a life of misery and yes, a life of closed doors. Not age. You yourself just limited amount of options for yourself by settling and choosing something lesser. These first 10 years of your independent adulthood are for exploration, are for trying different options and figuring out what works best. It's okay to try different professions, places for life, and even relationship dynamics. This will allow you to figure out what it is that you truly want, so that later you don't have to settle. You will make a conscious choice.
Make as many mistakes as you can. That way someday when they ask what we want to be, we won't have to guess. We'll know.
Lesson number 2. Do not base your decisions on the advices of people who do not live the life you want to live. If you don't want to live the way they live, do not listen to them. It's as simple as that. Even if they say, do not repeat my mistakes.
I mean, what if I don't want to live the way you live?
Oh, don't be ridiculous, Andrea. Everybody wants this.
Here is a curious thing about people. They love giving advices, especially those who don't have any relevant expertise or experience. And that's because people who do have relevant expertise and experience are usually getting paid for their advices, so they will never harass you with them. Let's imagine this situation. You want to get stronger and grow more muscles. You will not go for an advice to the most sickly, weak, bony person you know. Makes no sense, right? You will go to a certified trainer with client's testimony and nice muscles. You will pay them and listen to their instructions because they are qualified to give them. Then why would you listen for relationship advice from an auntie who has been divorced 3 times? Or for an investment advice from your broke uncle who is in a state of perpetual debt? Like what? As a young person, you will be a subject of constant instructions, unwanted advice, sarcastic comment and judgment about whatever it is you're doing wrong in life. If these comments trigger you, or worse, push and pull you in different directions and threaten to start shaping your life, the only reliable criteria is their own lives. Do you want to live the way they do? Do you like what they have for themselves? Do you want it for yourself? If your answer is no, the only correct action plan is to ask them to keep their opinions to themselves. Insight number 3, you don't have to forgive. I hate how the concept of forgiveness is being exploited by those who are in the wrong. It's almost like if you can't forgive them, then whatever has happened is now your fault. It's like, I've apologized. What else do you want? Well, maybe I don't want to see your toxic face around me anymore. Forgiveness is not something that everyone is entitled to, even if the person had a sense to ask for it. Forgiveness is not an action that you can just do, and you don't owe it to anyone. Forgiveness is a kind of emotional reaction. You can't forcefully forgive somebody, just like you can't forcefully fall in love with somebody. You have to take this pressure off yourself. Sometimes the only right thing to do is to distance yourself from the person who wronged you. And sometimes the only healthy solution is to let them go. And that's okay too. This is really important. It is in your 20s that you will learn to let people go from your life. It is normal to part ways, even with best friends. In these 10 years, a lot of things will change about you and your life. A lot of things will change about them. And trust me, it is better to be somebody's happy memory than somebody's suffocating present. As the classic says, and what hurts the most, that people can go from people we know to people we don't. Lesson number 4 is about romantic relationships. I know that hearing this will hit hard some of you ladies, but trust me, it is better to realize this as early in your life as possible. This insight alone will save you years of heartbreak and misery. If your life with him is worse than your life was without him, you don't need him. All the fancy theories about relationships, red flags, and techniques can be summed up to this simple formula. Does he make you feel happier? Does he make you feel safer, more desirable, more capable, loved, cherished? Did your life improve after he came along? A lot of girls, if they were honest, would confess that their partners made them miserable and insecure, and yet they're holding on to them because they're afraid of the heartbreak and misery. But here is the weird thing. We are afraid that our lives will be more miserable without them, forgetting that our lives were actually better without them. This is exactly what relationship guru mean when they say that you shall be your own person before entering a relationship. We understand this wrong, as if we shall not want to have a relationship at all, which is a weird thing to expect from a human being. We all need connections with others, but only healthy ones, those that make our lives better. Being your own person means that you are able to make yourself happy without the need to leech onto the other person. You don't need them. You want them into your life. If your life is beautiful when you are single because you know how to take care of yourself, you will never agree to be in a relationship with somebody who drags you down. Like, why would you do that? Girls who are happy alone, who are happy single, are able to see right through the male BS. In a sense, the dating becomes very easy and quick because you don't waste any time on the potential mistakes. I forgot my wallet. Can you pay for both of us on the first date? Next. My ex never took care of me. I expect from a girlfriend A, B, C, next. These are examples from real life, by the way. When girls come to me after the breakup or they are still in a toxic relationship and they want to get out but they don't know how, we analyze the whole relationship and we always find out that there were a lot of red flags that she had missed. And that's because they were so desperate to find somebody, just anybody, that their BS radar didn't work. And now they're in a relationship with somebody who spoils their lives, unable to let them go. So always remember, a relationship exists to make you happier, not to spoil your life. Number 5. Learn to trust your gut. By this, I don't mean instincts. I mean literally your body. Our body is very wise. It is very well attuned to feeling what's good for us and even better for sensing what's bad for us. And that's because the emotional reactions are more ancient than our rational mind that can rationalize anything. Emotional reactions exist even in the animal world. If a lion is running towards you or towards a gazelle, you both will run. Not because your minds told you to. It's your body's response. In less intense and life-threatening situations, however, it is harder to hear what it is that our bodies are trying to tell us. Let's say you work in an office, in accounting, again, true story. And every day when you come to work, you feel nauseous. And you can't realize that this is your body telling you this job is not for you. Because your rational mind is telling you you're building a career, nobody likes their jobs, this is the right thing to do, and so on. Or you start a relationship with somebody and you start feeling constantly fatigued. You always want to sleep. Your energy level is close to zero. You don't want to go anywhere, to do anything. Your motivation drops. And you feel like as a person you are fading into the darkness. But everybody is telling you that he is a great person and this time you settled. So you decide that you have a vitamin deficiency or something and you just need more rest, ignoring the fact that your energy level magically reappears the moment he walks out of the room. The path to your most authentic self and most fulfilling life lies through your inner wisdom. If you learn to listen and respond to it, it will save you from wrong decisions, from wasting your time, and from feeling uncertain about your life. Number 6. Stop obsessing over your calling. As a 20-something-year-old, I was obsessing over my calling. Pretty quickly, I understood that the profession that was chosen for me by my parents was not for me. But I didn't know what to do instead, and this made me feel absolutely lost. I felt that only when I will figure out what it is that I was meant to do for the rest of my life, only then my life will begin. I poured crazy amounts of money on therapy and coaching to figure this out. And you know what? Recently, I was thinking about all the things that I'm currently doing in life. I have this self-development YouTube channel. I still do accounting in-house for my and my husband's businesses. I'm developing a mobile application for travelers. And I asked myself, did you figure out what was your calling? No, and I don't care anymore. There is so much more to life than obsessing over one thing, refusing to be happy until you find it. Chances are you will never find it because in life you will do a lot of things that will bring you joy in the moment. Or maybe you will find your true calling in the process of doing those things. Because here is the thing that no coach will ever tell you. You will not find your dream career through self-reflection, because the amount of professions that exist without you even knowing about them is incredible. You will not come across them in your therapist's office. They are out in the world around you. If you follow your interests, that's where you will discover them. Insight number 7. Every person has their own timeline. Despite the finite nature of our existence, the timeline according to which you must be achieving certain milestones is artificial. And guess what? Some of those milestones you don't even need. You don't have to marry before 30 and you don't have to marry at all. You don't have to become a CEO by the age 40 or make $1 million by the age 35. And it doesn't matter that other people manage to do that.
If I'm gonna be a senator by the time I'm 30, I need to stop dicking around.
I completely agree.
Attaching your happiness and your self-worth to this timeline is a recipe for disaster. First of all, life is not a sprint. It is for living and it is worth living. Secondly, if you are rushing to stick to that timeline, you forget to check in with yourself. Is this really what I want right now? And as a result, we have millions of miserable people who live lives they never wanted because their true wishes never mattered. What mattered is that other people will not say they are losers and fell off that timeline. How crazy is that? They say that living is like walking through a dark tunnel with a flashlight. The only thing you can see is that small spot in front of you that's lit by the flashlight. In life, we can only truly concentrate on what's in front of us. Number 8. The next important thing to realize by the age 30 is your health is a priority. There are a lot of jokes on the internet about life after 30. We don't party all night anymore, we can't survive on the junk food, and we visit doctor regularly, and there is a good reason for that.
You know, we're not sad. We're not sad, we're just not 21 anymore. You know, I'm 29 years old, damn it, and I want to sit in a comfortable chair and watch television and go to sleep at a reasonable hour. Yeah.
It's not that suddenly you became very old and boring. It's just because the consequences of your actions in your 20s have caught up with you. In your 20s, your body recovers very quickly, and you feel like you can get away with almost anything, but that's not true. Unfortunately, if you don't take care of your health as early in life as possible, it might respond with early aging and chronic diseases. Personal examples. I used to dance professionally and compete, hence spine problems. I used to ignore the sunscreen, hence skin pigmentation. Genuine care for your health and for your body is only possible when it's coming from a source of self-love. You will not go to a gym regularly from a place of self-hate, like I'm a fat cow and I need to go to the gym to lose weight. Self-hate causes resistance. Nobody likes to be treated this way. Your body was given to you not to provide what you want and get punished if it doesn't. It was given into your care. Once you're above 18, it is your responsibility to take care of it. You must get serious about your health and physical well-being as early as possible. And if you do, you will feel amazing and you will be able to do amazing things. Lesson number 9, one of the most important ones to take away. Start cultivating additional income streams and investing into your savings. In modern day and age, you will never be free or even safe if you rely on one income stream only, especially if you don't have savings, especially if you have debts. Let me tell you a personal story. When I was 20, my workplace got bankrupt and everybody was laid off. I remember very well that panic that my colleagues had. All of them were elder than me, 25 plus, 30 plus, and all of them had mortgages. People from the management, people who used to be department heads, agreed for the lowest ranks in other companies because they couldn't afford to be unemployed, even for a short while. Imagine if they wanted, and I believe many of them did, to do something else, to get out of a job, to start freelancing or to start their own business. They would never be able to do that. Let's be honest about money. Money is the blood of our lives. We are the only animals that have to pay to live. We have to pay for our food, for our shelter, for our dreams. How can anyone be comfortable with only one income stream? How can anyone be safe when they don't have any savings to rely on when they need it? If you are somebody who's looking for freedom, freedom equals financial freedom. You have to be financially educated so that your money will serve you instead of you having to serve them. As early in your life as possible, look for additional income streams. Start saving. $1,000 in savings is way better than zero. And here is a simple rule for you to follow. Never spend all the money that you've made. Think of it in terms of a business. For a business, income minus expenses equals profit. If the profit is zero or negative, this is a bad business that's heading towards bankruptcy. Same with you. At some point in my life, after paying rent and other financial obligations, all I had every month was $200 only. I still didn't spend it all because savings are non-negotiable. Number 10. This is the lesson I consider the most important one. I believe that your 20s are mainly for getting to know yourself. So this lesson is about accepting who you are, being comfortable in your own skin, being unapologetic about who you are. The outside world is constantly sending us messages that there is something wrong about us. And if we don't know ourselves and don't accept ourselves fully, it is easy to fall into the trap of constant self-improvement and self-changing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not against self-improvement, but let's differ between improving our qualities and skills to increase the quality of our lives and altering our whole personality because it doesn't fit with somebody. You will never be able to please everyone, so why struggle? If you're an extrovert, people will say you're exhausting. If you're an introvert, people will say you're too quiet. If you take decisions fast, people will say you don't consider consequences too well. If you take time to take your decisions, you will be considered indecisive. Continue the list, you got the gist. You need to develop or enhance certain qualities of self only if it will improve the quality of your life for you, not to fit with somebody, to please somebody, to make them like you. If you don't know your worth, you will base it on whether other people like you. If you know you are worthy and you accept yourself, you will never again be bothered by other people's opinions. Here is how to accept your personality. Behind every personality trait that you consider bad, there is a strength. You need to find that strength and start taking advantage of it. For example, I suffered for years for being an introvert. When I meet new people, they often tell me, "You are so quiet," and that used to bother me. And that's until I realized that this is my strength. Because I'm an introvert, I'm very smart, observant, perceptive. I understand other people very well. While the only thing they were able to understand about me is that I was quiet, I understood their whole generational trauma. Because now I accept myself, I don't try to magically turn myself into an extrovert, and I don't beat myself up for not being able to do so. If somebody dislikes me being quiet, well, they don't understand that there are different temperaments. This has nothing to do with me. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you have a lot of insights to take away with you. Share in comments which one was your favorite. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.